Welcome to 2026. You might think we're past New Year's resolutions, but no, baby. It's May. It's May what? 4th? May 4th. And it's time. It's time for you to set goals. It's time for you to have ambitions. And the thing is, Americans on average are looking for side hustles. I don't know if that's a recession indicator, but regardless, I'm here to help you with that. What inspired me to get into selling Magic the Gathering was money. Plain and simple. It's about making money. Is it the best way to make money? Probably not. Is it the most efficient way to use your time to make money? Probably not. But they say, like, lean into what you know, right? And I know Magic cards, and when I learned that there was good money to be made selling Magic cards, well, I was interested and I wanted to dig in. And so here's my video, my kind of crash course of it's 2026. You want to start making money selling Magic the Gathering cards. What do you do from scratch? So first off, let me get into some of the kind of, they might be obvious. Maybe it's not obvious. Maybe it's not necessary. The mindset and kind of what your expectations should be for you to be successful. And then we'll get into what you need, like materials and just the practical things. Then we'll get into like a day in the life. Like, what does it look like? So mindset. I am part-time. Turning this into something full-time, I don't know, like, I don't know. I don't know if you can sell just Magic cards out of your basement. I guess so. I guess that's what Rob from Kitchen Table, or not Kitchen, what am I talking about? Rob from RNG Games. Rob from RNG Games made the claim that selling on eBay, now I'm going to talk about selling on TCGPlayer. Selling on eBay is a little bit of a different game, different equipment, different mindset, different struggles and whatever. And I can get into that. I'm not as much of a professional on eBay, but I can get into that. But today we're talking about TCGPlayer. But Rob claimed that you can make six-figure income selling cards on eBay. And so if that's true, you got to be able to make at least 60 grand, which is like high median US salary in the United States. So, which is crazy that's the high median US salary, right? Because there's so many people that make way more than that, but that feel so poor. Anyways, not the point of this video. So we're not getting into macroeconomics. We're talking about how you can make money. So can you scale this and turn this into a full-time thing? Maybe. That's not what I do. For me, this is a part-time thing. This is about flexibility. It's about having a side hustle where you're making money, but it's not requiring you to like clock in somewhere, clock out. It is so flexible. You can do it anytime. I do it during my lunch. I do it at, I'm blessed to work remote. So I'm able to, like, during lunch, I can pack an envelope. I can in the morning, when I'm up with my kid, if my kid's distracted or whatever, I can pack an envelope. In the evenings, just any time of day, you can do this, obviously. And if you have 5 minutes, you can make progress. If you have an hour, you can make a lot of progress. And that kind of flexibility is incredible. You can do it while you're watching TV. You can do it while listening to YouTube. Oh man, I love listening to YouTube. So it's flexible. It's great. That being said, you have to do it. When you sell something on TCGPlayer, the expectation is that within 2 days, within 48 hours, you have marked that as shipped. And not just marked it as shipped, but you've actually shipped it, which, by definition is like it's in the envelope, ready for the mailbox. The next chance you get, it's in the mailbox, shipped. And so you've got to do that. So if it's been, a day and you're like, crap, this is my last chance before another day to pack envelopes, you end up having to pack those envelopes. So it's not like it's just like willy-nilly, my life is completely free. Like there is some requirement of you. You have to put in some effort and some planning, and it does take up a portion of your life, right? You are exchanging your time and energy for money at the end of the day. So just some preface. Who would I recommend this for? Kind of everybody who's really into Magic, I think, should have a TCGPlayer account and should be selling to some extent, because there's cards you just have that you don't play with or think about anymore. Who I wouldn't recommend this for is, I guess, the people that just want to make money, like have no interest in Magic. There's just got to be better ways to make money. Do I know them? No. But, I don't know. If it's like, I just want to make loads and loads of cash, Yeah, I just doubt that this is the right place to be. Okay, so let's get into some of the nitty gritty. I'm going to share my desk. Yep, that's a safe view. So this is a 3D printed thing I bought off of a TikTok shop that holds all the supplies that I use for packing cards. I don't know what this thing's called. It's pretty cool. Pause real quick. In the description of my video, and basically all my videos, there are Amazon links. And there's going to be Amazon links to most, if not all, the things that I'm going to talk about in this video. If you click on those links and buy those things, that supports the channel. Much appreciated. If you also click on those links and then immediately or within the next day, like look up something else that you want to buy and just buy that thing, that also supports the channel. So if you're like, I don't know, wanting to help a brother out and you spend a bunch of money on Amazon, consider just clicking on my links. Anyways, all right, unpause. So this is all the stuff I need. So if I'm getting started from scratch, some of the things I'm going to need are penny sleeves, top loaders, team bags, stamps. I've got like a Sharpie here. I've got bigger team bags, but those aren't as necessary. But those basics are necessary. What else do you need? You need paper and you need a printer. You need to be able to print out the shipping labels. I've got, this is just a blank piece of paper, obviously. I didn't want to use a real address of a real customer. Although I have those to the side. And so let me show you. Actually, I guess let's start from scratch. Let's go to the website. Let's say, okay, you were a evil, dirty scalper and you scalped the Festival in a Box. So you now, you already sold the Consecrated Sphinxes because those sell super easy on eBay. But now you want to sell on TCGPlayer. You got 4 of these counter spells and 4 of these in residence whatever cards. And now you need to list them on TCGPlayer. This is your first cards, first listings. What does that look like? Well, let me pull that up. So here we go. Okay. Welcome to the TCGPlayer seller portal. This is the pro seller portal. So if you're not a pro, it's not going to look all the way like this. But by the way, if you just go to normal like tcgplayer.com and you click on your name in the top right, there is a seller portion, and this is for everybody. And you can click on like become a seller, and you can become a seller, and you start at level 1. And at level 1, you're only able to list like 25 things. I don't know. It's something ridiculously small. I'm going to pretend like that's the case. But once you make your account, it doesn't take that long. It's not that hard. You're going to get to a site like this. And you're going to click on inventory. And you're going to go list your first card, which in our case is a counterspell. So I type in counterspell and I search. And a ton of different counterspells come up. And which one is ours? Well, you can see in the bottom of the card, there is a collector number, which this says 2 promo. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to Control F and look up the number sign space 2. And then I look around for where are one of these with collector number 2. And here's one, Counterspell, Retro Frame. From Magic Fest cards, that's us. Click on add, which I guess you can't see. Sorry, move my screen a little bit. So click on add that's on the far right side. Is that a good view? Okay. Click on add. You come in here. So now here is where you have to make your first choice. How much am I going to price this card for? When you're getting started on TCGPlayer, there's a couple prices that are shown to you that are kind of like options. You can click on match real easy, and you can also type in whatever price you want. So here we have the TCG lowest listing, the TCG last sold listing, and the TCG market price. And I'll explain what these are just to like make it very clear. The lowest listing is the lowest price of that Magic card that exists. So if we excuse me, if I take this to the side, I'm just going to show very clearly how this relates tcgplayer.com. So we'll pull up the actual listing. I guess actually I think I can pull it up here. Yeah, so here's the actual listing, and $6.06 is the cheapest listing of this card. Oh, that's funny. Did any It says none sold today, but that's probably not true. Anyways, so $6.06. The last sold listing, $6.08. So that's pretty self-explanatory. It's the last sold listing. The market price. The market price is calculated by TCGPlayer as an average of all the recently sold prices. So if the market price is above the current lowest price, that suggests that the price is falling, right? Because if you have this average that's high, in this case, the market price is $9, but the lowest price is $6. That means as we sell more $6, this market price is going to get closer to $6. But right now it's $9. Somebody paid $9 for this card, but right now the lowest people are paying are $6 for this card. So what should I price my card? Well, when you're brand new, you should price it the lowest, like when you're level 1. This is because you are brand new. You don't have any reviews, you don't have a sales history, and you don't have a large inventory. Those are the 3 things that can help you price cards for more. If you are a well-established store, people will often be willing to pay more for a card from you. Not that much more, but more. If you are a store that has a lot of inventory, when people use the mass price, or not mass price, but the price optimizer on TCGPlayer, TCGPlayer will recommend buying from your shop because you have multiple of the cards that people want. Now, to get there, you really need an inventory that's closer to like 2,000, 3,000 plus cards. So when you're just getting started and you're limited to like 25 listings or something pathetic, that's just not an option. When you're getting started, you need to price your cards low. TCG lowest listing. I'm actually going to sell mine for low because I believe the price of these cards is going to go down. I clicked on the match for the low price. I'm setting my quantity to 4 because I have 4 of these things. I'm hitting save. Huzzah. Counterspell Retro Frame queued successfully updated. That's great. Now I'm going to sell these playtest cards. I just typed in the name, searched. There's only one printing ever of In Residence. It's right here. Click on match for the lowest price once again. Set my quantity of 4, and hit save. And I'm actually not going to sell these cards because I don't know. I just don't think they're going to sell. Now, when you're just getting started, should you sell cards that are just bulk or, very cheap like this? You can. You absolutely can. I have not focused on selling very many cards that have low demand. Like this card that's only had 1 copy sold ever. Yeah, I'm just not interested in competing with this. I don't know. It's just not for me. But selling bulk is the thing. eBay is a better place to get better money for your bulk cards. But like I said, a strategy you can have is selling lots of different cards for a higher price. That is a valid strategy, but that strategy only works once you can list lots and lots of cards. So when you're just getting started, I don't recommend selling these 30-cent type cards. You really want to have, $1, $5, $10 cards that you're able to sell at the lowest price. People will buy them and they will give you good reviews as long as you follow the feedback inside of this video. And you'll be able to get from level 1 to level 2 to level 3 to level 4, which is the goal, to get to level 4 in your TCGPlayer account. Okay, excellent. So we're back to the desk. So you've listed not these In Residence cards because these cards are low price and they don't have sell-through. People are not interested in buying them because nobody cares about Mark Rosewater's crappy self-done artwork. But these counterspells. These counterspells you've listed at the low, and let's say that one sells. What you gonna do? Well, congratulations. You got your first sale on TCGPlayer. When you go onto TCGPlayer, I can't really show you this because I don't want to dox the people who bought stuff from me, but you can see at the top of my screen, back when I was showing you my screen, there's an orders button. You click on that, and then you're able to select all your orders, and then there's a pull sheet where you can export a pull sheet and it'll tell you all the cards that you need for your order. I guess I can show you this. Let me show you what a pull sheet looks like. This is my current pull sheet. So I expand out the columns. These are the card names. The condition is helpful because it tells you if it's in foil or not. And then the set that it comes from. I've got a lot of Modern Horizons 3 from, if you watch my previous Modern Horizons 3 box opening, and then the quantity. And what I do is my workflow is I copy this quantity over here, and then I'll highlight groups of cards that I know I have stored in the same place. So, I have like a box over here of Modern Horizons 3. So I'm going to highlight this so that I know as I'm pulling these cards out and going down this list, it's like, oh, this is my Modern Horizons 3 box. Let me pull that out, grab those cards. I'll be good to go. Yeah, all these. Oh no, why are these pre-release cards? Those aren't pre-release cards. Uh-oh, I'm in trouble. Anyway, okay, not the point. Okay, so back to me. Back to my desk. So there's that export, the packing or the pull sheet. You grab all the cards you need from your pull sheet. Then on that same page, there is a packing slip. You want to print the 10-inch left window single packing slip. It's going to look, well, this is a blank piece of paper, but it's going to have this dotted line about a third of the way down, and it's going to have the address of the customer right here. And that's critical because what you're going to do once you print, so like I said, you need a printer. I have a link below in the printer I use. I love it. Do not get a cartridge printer. If your printer uses cartridges, and if you want to do this seriously, if you are doing this seriously, do not use a cartridge printer. You will waste so much money on cartridges. You need a printer that has like an ink basin that you can just get ink and pour it in. It's incredible. Let me pause real quick. I need to have a heart-to-heart with you watching. It's really fun. It's really fun to learn about a new way to make money. It's really exciting. It sometimes can get you in a headspace that makes you justify doing things that you actually shouldn't do. And this is what I mean. If you started playing guitar and you are like, wow, I just got back from my first guitar practice lesson with my guitar teacher, and I am so excited about playing guitar. I'm going to go out and buy a Gibson Les Paul, one of the most expensive guitars ever, and I'm going to buy myself a $1,000 amp and all of the guitar pedals because I know I'm going to go places with guitar. That is a silly thing to do. And the reason is because you don't actually know if you like guitar yet. You've been to one class. If you actually spent, a month, 3 months, 6 months playing and practicing guitar, which you could do on any dinky guitar. You can go to Costco and get their dinky guitar bundle for $150 that comes with an amp and comes with guitar, and you're good to go. But if you go after one guitar practice and you buy a super expensive guitar and just burn all this money because you've told yourself that guitar is your lifelong passion, you could be making a big mistake. You might not be, but you could be. And a lot of people make this mistake all the time, especially when there's money involved. If there's like, oh, I can make a little bit money doing ABC, people will justify spending so much money that they really should not be spending because they don't actually know if they're into ABC. And so all that is to say in this heart-to-heart is that do not go to my Amazon links and buy a bunch of things thinking that like, oh yeah, this is my calling if you haven't done it yet. Now, if you need a printer, maybe you just need a printer. You could also print at like a UPS store or something like that. Just when you're just starting out, try to not spend a ton of money. You do have to spend money. You do need to get stamps. You do need to get top loaders and things like that. But hopefully you're not spending hundreds upon thousands of dollars to just get started, right? Okay. I'm not your dad, and even your dad can't tell you what to do. So that's, unless you're, less than 20, which statistically, less than 18. Statistically, you're not. I mean, my viewers are all like 20s, 30s, 40s, which is pretty cool. And they're also old dudes. We're old dudes, 1% women. Anyway, okay. So you get your packing slip. It looks something like this. What I do is I fold this so that the address is up. I fold on the dotted line that you have. And then my packing slip, it has like the information, what cards you need, whatever. All right. This is where this pretty cool thing. I'm sure these exist on Amazon. Like I said, I got on a TikTok shop. I don't even know what it's called. I think it's like a packing buddy or something like that. I grab the card, grab the inner sleeve. The inner sleeve keeps the cards safe, except there's a flaw. The inner sleeve isn't rigid, so the card can still get bent fairly easy, and the inner sleeve has a top that it can get out of, which it does. This happens. Technically, you could stick this inside an envelope and ship it. But like I said, 2 threats. One is that it gets out of the inner sleeve, which it can quite easily, and then it can get scratched and dinged and whatever. And then the other one is that the inner sleeve is not rigid, so it can get bent. How do you fix this? Well, you get a top loader, which is rigid, and you put the inner sleeve inside of the top loader such that the top of the inner sleeve is facing towards the bottom of the top loader. So now it's not coming out, like it's not going to come out of both. But still with this inner sleeve card can get out of the top loader, and it has. And so to fix that, I have this team bag. And, you know, in the past, like when I first got started, I'd put a piece of tape here, which I think was fine until I got returns to me because people sent me bad addresses or whatever. And then I had to open my own thing, and it sucked. It sucked to open when you put a piece of Scotch tape right here. Not fun, not good. So once I realized like, oh wait, that's not good. I got these team bags, which I have linked below. You put it in the team bag, this side up. Well, actually, I guess it doesn't matter because at this point you're able to seal the team bag. Now, the team bag has a built-in seal. I don't like using that. I just take a piece of tape and I put it on. This is a protected card. The only thing that's going to get this card is a knife blow from the front. Like if somebody is assaulting the USPS person and has their butcher knife and like goes at the USPS person and they hold up this top-loaded card, this envelope, you know, that will damage the card. But besides that, this card is safe. This card is safe. It's good to go. I get cards, I know you have too, from TCGPlayer, where it is like more elaborate than this, and it is so psycho. It's unnecessary. This is perfectly safe. Anyway, okay. You take it, you put it on the paper, you tape it to the shipping or the paper, the packing slip. You fold the packing slip up. Now you've got their address right here, and the card in the packing slip is the card that's all wrapped up is inside of the packing slip. This is ready for an envelope. The envelopes, which I also have linked below, have a window in them right here, which has the perfect spacing such that if you put this in, you will be able to see, I guess I shouldn't actually seal it for my example. You'll be able to see the address just right here. And even if it moves around a little bit, because it can move around a little bit, the address will still be right there. So at this point, so you seal it, which it comes with like pre-glued. It's pretty cool. You seal it, you get a stamp, a forever stamp in the corner, top right corner. And then you get a stamp. I have a link to Amazon. I didn't buy this off of Amazon. I bought this off of like stamps.com or whatever. Not stamps.com. I'm not sure where I got it. Simply Stamps. That's where I got it. Simply Stamps, not a sponsor. But you can use the Amazon link, and I'm sure that one's plenty good. And so I'm able to just stamp my address onto the top left corner. And, just like Capital Catalyst, address, whatever. And then it's sealed. It has a forever stamp. It has the return address. You're ready to go. Some notes. Some people are like, oh, if you put the card in the middle, it's going to say not machinable. I've never had that issue. There's a different YouTuber called PokePaster. He does Pokemon cards, but he sells a lot on TCGPlayer. He went to the postmaster with one of his envelopes, which he does this kind of same process. And I guess that the postmasters, they have a tool to determine if an envelope is machinable, and it has something that you have to like push the envelope through, like a hole. And the idea is like if the envelope can go through the hole, it is machinable. And guess what? This can. And so if you get any grief from your from your post office or whatever, it sucks, but you're going to just have to go in and be like, hey, I need to talk to who's in charge. This is machinable, but I need to talk to the postmaster to like verify. And then that postmaster can like tell y'all to back off and let me ship my envelopes. Okay, what else? How many cards can go into this envelope? For me, about 6. They can't all fit in a top loader. So a top loader, I'll put up to 2 inside. If there's more than 2, I'll put them all up to 6 inside of one inner sleeve. And then I'll put that on top of the top loader and then put them both in the team bag. And that seems to work pretty well. There's other clever, once you get above 6 cards, 8 cards, 12 cards, 18 cards, there's these different thresholds with different tips. I'm not going to go through all of them, but you can put a lot of cards in one envelope and it's good to go. However, if I have more than 8 cards in here, I need not just a forever stamp, but also an extra postage stamp. So like, I bought some of these extra ounce stamps. Nick, where do you buy stamps? You don't have a link for them. I buy them from USPS.com. You can go to USPS.com and order a bunch of stamps. Now, like I said before, don't go crazy if you're just starting, but I order stamps. I order like $400-$500 of stamps at once. I mean, I just like stamps, so that's how I get my stamps. You can of course go to your local post office, get stamps. But yeah, if they're charging you, there's places that will sell you stamps, but they'll upcharge. They're like $1.30 per stamp. That's wrong. It should be about like 76 cents or something like that per stamp. Okay. Excuse me. Jeez. Okay. Right. So we got this envelope. It's good to go. We're able to ship. Boom. I put in my pile of ready to ship, and we are ready to go. Okay. Let's talk about some of the less fun details. I talked about reviews and getting good customer feedback earlier in the video. It is critical that you get good customer feedback, especially when you're starting off with your store. How are you going to get good customer feedback? Well, you're going to ship quickly. That's important. So I said that you can wait technically like 2 days or whatever, 48 hours. You could wait 47 hours and then you could ship it. And as long as you mark it as shipped at the 47th hour, TCGPlayer won't send you a thing. But if you want good reviews from people, you want to ship ASAP. Like I'm talking, you get an order at 8 a.m. Ideally, you're able to get it in the post office or in the mailbox that day. That is what you want to do because that is much more likely to get you positive feedback. Okay, what else? Customers will not always get the cards. Usually it's their fault. And usually in my experience, so I'll just talk about like what I've experienced. Other people have had other experiences and the internet will tell you other things, but this is what I've experienced and I've sold thousands upon thousands upon thousands of cards. So I think my experience is worth something. So let me just share. I don't think I've like ever been scammed. Maybe like once or twice or something like that. But cards do get lost in the mail. I've bought cards from TCGPlayer where they've just gotten lost in the mail and I wasn't scamming the person, but I'm like, hey, this never arrived. I send cards to people and weird things happen. I get a lot of the times the customers give me the wrong address and often they know it. And they'll like, let me know, like I'll get these messages where somebody will buy something and then immediately after be like, oh my gosh, this is the wrong address. Can you please send it to the right address? Which is a real pain, but you do it. And I'll get return envelopes in the mail where it's like sent to the wrong address or this address doesn't exist or whatever. And it's like, oh, okay, like great. That's stupid, but it's not my fault and I wasn't being scammed. It's not like they got the card. They didn't. The card got sent back to me. I just haven't really been scammed. I'm not really worried about that. What I am worried about is getting negative feedback. And so when somebody reaches out and they're like, hey, I never got my card. It's like, I am so sorry. Here's a full refund. And major apologies and have a nice day. That is the reply. Because like, yeah, they could be lying or whatever, but I need that positive feedback, or at least I need not negative feedback. And as long as the card wasn't $100, it's like, whoop-de-doo. By the way, for shipping with tracking, I track shipments over $35. That's what I do. Kitchen Table TCG, I kind of had the sense that I should be doing that, but then Kitchen Table TCG said that that's what they do, and so I felt very vindicated. TCGPlayer will recommend every shipment above $20 you should add tracking. I think that you're just going to waste a lot of money. I've bought cards from people that were $70 that they sent me without tracking, and then I got them, and I was like tempted to be absolutely evil and be like, I never got it, but I didn't. The reason you do tracking is to protect both parties. And it is bizarre and a bad idea to send somebody a $70 card without tracking, but I digress. So yeah, $35 or up. If the package costs that is when I do tracking. Right. So the customer, unfortunately, is always right. You want to make the customers happy. You want to just do your best to get people cards in the right condition and the right foiling and the right treatment. You got to be careful. That's another thing. You need to be careful about the treatment and the foiling and the whatever. Is it an etched foil? Is it a regular foil? Is it a retro foil? Is it, whatever. You just got to be careful. You sell people the right stuff. I might have showcased earlier, I might have sold a bunch of cards to people that say they're pre-release foils, and they are not. They're just regular foils. And so I'm going to have to cancel. Hopefully that's just one order, and I'm going to cancel it and say, I am so sorry. I did that. And they might give me a negative review, and that would be totally justified because that's on me. I should have not, I need to be very careful about how I list things. And what must have happened, or what I know happened, was using the TCGPlayer app for scanning cards. Sometimes they'll scan a foil and be like, oh yeah, this is a pre-release card. And it's like, no, it's not. And so I should have been more careful about that. But anyways, basically all my negative reviews, by the way, are from me using the TCGPlayer app that picked up something that I wasn't careful enough going through it. And then I sold somebody a card I didn't have, needed to cancel the order because I didn't have the card that I sold the person. And then the person is upset. And, rightfully so. A lot of those people, they're just like, oh yeah, whatever. But some of those people are very upset, and that's on me. So, okay. I think that's the gist. So if you want to do this 2026, make this trading card business happen, that is what you should do. I could just talk forever, but I need to wrap this up. Some of the higher level details. I shoot for 15% margins when I sell stuff. So if I'm able to buy a sealed booster box for $100 and I'm able to sell it for, well, I guess let me say differently. If I'm able to buy a sealed booster box for $70 or a sealed product or a collection for $70, sell it on TCGPlayer for $100, after shipping and fees are around 13.5%. And then shipping can be anywhere, depending on the product, from 2 to 8% or whatever. On average. Shipping's weird. I'm going to map out how shipping costs someday, but not today. Then I'm looking at somewhere between 15 and 20% of my margin is eaten up by shipping and fees. So if I sell it for $100, bought it for 70, sell it for 100, broken up in pieces or whatever, then I'm going to pocket somewhere between 10 to 15 bucks, which is about the minimum I shoot for. Hopefully I'm able to, the stuff I buy, I'm able to sell it for more. There's also some cool math because if somebody buys a card from you that's only $4, they end up paying for shipping. And so that really helps out margins. It adds up. A lot of small money adding up in big ways when you're selling trading cards. So as a whole, let me kind of just sum up the whole thing. I love this. I love selling trading cards. I think I'm going to sell trading cards forever. Even if I had a bajillion dollars, I would still sell some trading cards because it's just a cool way to interact with a hobby, in that my magic money is just magic money. I'm not taking money from my family. Not that that wouldn't be justified. I deserve some kind of a recreation budget, right? But it's so cool that my hobby with Magic the Gathering, which is not a cheap hobby, is able to be funded by Magic. And I love that. And it'd be cool if that could just always be true, where I'm able to buy things and sell things at such a profit that I'm able to pocket some money and spend some money on Magic cards. And I love spending money on Magic cards. So that's the spirit. Go into your collection. What's the commander deck you don't even like, you don't even play with? Make your TCGPlayer account, list those cards, especially the ones that cost $1 or more, at the TCG low, get those sales, make those shipments quickly and timely, and get good reviews, make sure the package is done well and is safe and protected, and get to level 4. Get to level 4 where you're able to list unlimited things and get all these other perks like being able to use the scanner app and things like that. It opens up a lot of opportunities, a lot of flexibility. At that point, you can go crazy like me and buy sealed commander decks and Modern Horizons 3 cases and bust them open and sell the cards. Or you can just have it as a resource in the future in case you want to liquidate Magic cards and get better margins than you would if you just sold to a store. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and subscribe.